We all know that student loan debt should be avoided. But how do you pay for college without getting a student loan? This video that I'm about to show you is going to give you some tips of how to avoid student loan debt but still pay for college yourself. Okay, so let's talk about it. Number one, how are you going to pay for college? You could work for a company that offers tuition reimbursement. There are tons of companies out there, tons to choose from. They all have different reimbursement policies, so you must do your homework to determine which companies have reimbursement policies and which companies do not. And all companies have different policies, so you need to make sure you do your homework before applying. But there are many companies out there, and here is a list of 33 from getunbound.org. Airpostal, Taylor, Anthem Blue Cross Blue Shield, Apple, Applied Materials, AT&T, Bank of America, Barnes & Noble, Best Buy, Boeing, BP, Capital One, CarMax, Chase, Chevron, Coca-Cola, Deloitte, Discover Card, Disney, ExxonMobil, Fiat Chrysler, FedEx, Ford, Gap, GE, Google, Home Depot, IBM, Intel, J.M. Smucker Company, John Deere, Johnson & Johnson, KFC, Kentucky Fried Chicken has something, Lane Bryant, Lockheed Martin, Lowe's, Macy's, McDonald's, Nike, Procter & Gamble, Raytheon, Siemens, Staples, Starbucks, Target, UPS, Verizon Wireless, Walgreens, Walmart, Wells Fargo, and Yahoo. That list is not all-inclusive because my company is not on there and my company offers tuition reimbursement. So if you're looking to get help and pay for your own college, I would strongly suggest to look at some companies that you can work for and start going to college part-time and pay for it with your tuition reimbursement from one of these companies. Something you need to know is that these companies probably have a policy that says you must work for the company for a given period of time. That could be 1, 2, 3, up to even 4 years. But if they're willing to pay for your college, they're probably willing to promote you and pay you what you are worth. Number 2 of how to stay out of debt going to college and pay for it yourself. Do not overpay for college. So what do I mean by do not overpay for college? Well, if you go to a private 4-year school, the average cost is $133,920 just for tuition. If you went to an in-state public school, that cost would be $38,600. That's almost $100,000 difference for essentially the same education. So one person's paying $100,000 more and the other person's paying $100,000 less. They're getting the same education. They could get the same job. Now you might sound like that's crazy. You might think it's crazy, but I'm actually sitting next to somebody that is paid astronomically more because they went to a private school, and we have the same job. We make about the same money, but that person has much more student loan. Actually, I don't have any student loans, but that person's paying a lot. So do not overpay. Go to an in-state public school over a private school. Second, consider going to a community college. A community college could give you your basic credits, your basic classes, or your general classes. You could save a lot of money this way. If you get 2 years out of the way, which I know people have done this. I personally did not do this, but it would have been a good route to go. If you went to community college, it would be around $6,800 on average. If you go to an in-state public school like I've recommended, that's $19,000. So you're saving around $12,000-$13,000 by taking community classes instead of the 4-year accredited college classes. Big savings there. Also, live an inexpensive life. Don't be partying all the time. Budget. Buy used textbooks. Don't buy the new textbooks. That's crazy. Just be smart. Try to reduce your expenses, and then you don't have to pay as much. That's the thinking. And a lot of times, we think, well, I want to go and I want to experience the college life. I want to do everything that my parents did or my friends are doing. And you're not thinking about how much is this going to cost me, because you'll pay for it either now or you'll pay for it later. And you don't want to pay for it later because there's going to be interest on it. So unless you have a sugar daddy or sugar mama that's paying your way, or a grandpa or grandma, you should consider something else. You should consider going to an in-state public school that will be a reduced amount of tuition. You should consider community college to get your general eds out of the way, to get your basic classes, and that will drastically reduce the bottom line that you'll be paying and will help you stay out of debt for good. Number 3, how you pay for college without going into debt is apply for as many scholarships as you possibly can. As many as you can. The only thing that you have to lose is time. Time. It's your effort. Go out there. Apply for as many as you can. I wish I could rewind the time and tell myself as a high schooler to apply to more scholarships. It's free money. There's so many of these things that go unspent. They have budgeted scholarships. They don't have the students to come in to even apply, and so they just rolled over to the next year. Wasted money. It's an opportunity for you. Go out and do it. Now, I know that it is frustrating applying for a scholarship, not knowing if you're going to get it or not. Seeing that the price tag, the potential to only be a couple $100. Don't listen to that. Just do it. Go out, sell yourself, write those essays, get maybe a boilerplate essay, and start spreading them out. Apply for as many as you can. Where can you look for scholarships? Well, I'd say the first place would be at your university's financial aid office. Apply for the scholarships there. Make sure you get your essays in on time. That's what I did. I did do this. I cashed in on it, got some great scholarships that helped me for the 4 years. And the great thing was that as I progressed in my education, I got more and more scholarship money each year, which really helped. And I was able, as I was into the community of the university, I was able to find ways to get more scholarships. And that's what you need to do. You need to not just apply when you're a freshman or going into college. You need to continually look for scholarship opportunities that you can take advantage of. All right, so financial aid office, that's number 1. Number 2, I would say look at your high school, in your high school. Talk to your high school counselor. My wife totally scored here. She talked to her high school counselor, got into actually a minority scholarship, and got a full ride scholarship, which was unbelievable. Now, not everybody's going to get a full ride minority scholarship, I understand. But there are plenty of scholarships that your high school counselor can help you take advantage of. They'll just point you in the right direction. From $100 to $1,000 to a full ride scholarship, talk to your high school counselor. They're going to be a great resource. Another resource that you can tap into is your local library. Go talk to your librarian, see what type of scholarships are on their library database. Most libraries do have scholarships in their databases. And I would just, like I said, drive to your library, talk to a librarian, see what's out there. If you're by computer, another one you could do is look at the federal government website, studentaid.gov. Now, when you go there, there's going to be a place where they're saying student loans, and then there's going to be scholarships and grants. Don't go to the student loans. Look at the scholarships and grants. That's where you want to spend your time investing the essays, investing the time applying for those scholarships, seeing what you're eligible for. Okay? Also, look at your state and local government. All right? There are scholarships there that you can take advantage of as well. Okay, so number 4 on how you can pay for college without getting into debt. Consider becoming an RA, a resident advisor. A resident advisor can get free room and board, which on average for a 4-year accredited college, in-state public, is about $41,000 and $41,700. It's a lot of money. Typically, though, resident advisors are upperclassmen, either sophomores, juniors, or seniors, not freshmen. So if you do become an RA, expect $30,000 of savings. That is a lot of money. I mean, that's a free car, essentially. Well, what is an RA? An RA lives in the dorms and enforces campus policies. They essentially mediate conflict, make sure students are behaving, not destroying the dorms, not smoking in non-smoke areas, not drinking in non-drinking areas, etc., etc. Basically, not killing themselves, right? And then also just cultivating a positive environment, mentoring, resolving conflicts, and things of this nature. The positives of being an RA is that you get your own room. That's sweet. In most dorms, if you live in a dorm, you're sharing a room with somebody. Otherwise, you're paying just out the wazoo for a room. But if you're an RA, you get something to yourself, which is really nice. Also, it looks fantastic on a resume. The company sees that you're an RA. They see you're a leader. You're responsible. You take control of situations. That's great experience for you, and it will get you a job easily. Some of the drawbacks: it's a lot of responsibility. You're responsible for a whole floor. So it's not for everybody. You have to be a responsible person. You have to be somebody that wants to care for other people. You have to be a positive person. Okay, number 5 of how you stay out of debt by paying for college yourself. Consider joining an ROTC program. What does ROTC stand for? It stands for Reserve Officer Training Corps. Now, what does that mean? Essentially, the Navy, Marines, Air Force, Army, and the Coast Guard all have officer training programs in college that you can participate in. What that means is that you will eventually serve in these in whatever capacity. So if you're going to go in the Navy ROTC, you would serve in the Navy. If you would serve and do the Air Force ROTC, you'd serve the Air Force. So whatever branch of the military that you would sign up for the ROTC program, you'd serve there. They train you to be an officer during the college, and you'd get your degree instead of going to one of their schools like the Air Force Academy or West Point, so forth and so on. And graduating college, you would go into that branch and serve for 4 to 10 years. That's a lot of time, but it depends on your career path. Now, why do I bring this up in this channel? Well, my dad personally served in the Navy ROTC. He became a pilot. He flew the P-3 because of the ROTC program. My roommate also did Navy ROTC. He became a Navy SEAL. both extremely successful. My dad probably will make more money than I'll ever make in a year being a pilot. He now flies for Delta, did not do the Navy his whole life. It looks like my roommate won't do the Navy SEALs his whole life. But it's a great program. There's a lot of responsibility. If you join these programs, you'll be doing drills. You'll be learning how to become an officer. You will become an officer at the end of it. You'll have a guaranteed job at the end of college. You'll have leadership. You'll be physically fit. The downside, of course, is the responsibility. You'll have to go through the training in college. You'll have to serve after college. But the positive is that college is going to be completely paid for, and that is a plus. All right, so number 6 of how you pay for college without going into debt. Choose a degree that pays well. Seems obvious. I think everybody should choose a degree that pays well, but if you look at the top 10 majors, many are not in the top 50 paying degrees. Top 10 most popular majors, I think at least 50% are well outside of the top 50 paying majors. So if you choose a degree that pays well, it's typically some sort of engineering or some sort of business. You can get an internship in college, either during the summers or on a semester in college, then off a semester and work. Well, if you do that, then you could take the earnings from your internships or co-ops and help pay for school. I actually did this. I took advantage of this. I worked during the summers and did one. I went to a college that didn't do semesters but did quarters. I went one quarter, did an internship, and use that money to help pay for my living expenses during the year. This is a great opportunity for a plethora of students to take advantage of. I think it's something that you should consider as well. So the downside is that it might extend your college degree to be about, instead of 4 years, to be 5 or 6 years. The positive thing is that you're staying out of debt. You're paying as you go. The other positive thing is you're building your resume. You're developing a relationship with a company or many companies, and that will help you down the line get a full-time job, and a full-time job that is going to be rewarding to you, which is very, very important. Okay, so finally, number 7 on how you pay for college without going into debt. This one's specific to an occupation of teachers. Now, teachers don't make a lot. The last point I said, if you make a lot of money, if you're going into engineering or business, this next one is for teachers. There's things to check out. Look at the Teachers Loan Forgiveness Program. If you work 5 years at a qualified school, that's a low-income school, you could get $17,000, $500 of your student loans erased. Also look at the Perkins Loan Reimbursement Program, or cancellation program, excuse me. And then there's also the Public Service Loan Forgiveness Program. There's a lot of programs out there. Do your research. I have a link in the description below. Check that out if you're a teacher. Essentially, you're going to have to do a little sacrifice if you're a teacher to be a part of these programs. You're going to have to teach at a low-income school or a school that meet the qualifications of the reimbursement or cancellation policies. So I'll have a link below. You check it out. Take advantage of it if you're a teacher. So that's it. That's 7 ways that you can pay for college yourself without going into debt. You can take advantage of this and at least minimize the debt that you will pay if you take on student loans. Please take advantage of these ideas and reduce that bill or pay for it all yourself. It will help you in your life and in your career. It will let you have freedom. It will take away the debt that you will have for years if you don't take advantage of some of these things. I would ask you, if you enjoyed this video, please like or comment. Ask me any questions if you have. Subscribe to my page. I have another video I've linked here of why you need to be worried about student loan debt. Why, basically the badness of it. More information, check out that video. I'll have more videos on this topic in the future. I'm Michael Nestoroff. Thank you for watching. Appreciate your time, and I hope you enjoyed this, and I hope you stay out of debt and your career successful, and just work hard and keep on grinding.